Addiction is something that's in your mind, something that you think you need or something that you think you want, not necessarily something that you have to have, just what you think you want. A lot of people, they might smoke but they don't need to have a smoke. Some people might have a drink but they don't need to have a drink. But when you feel like, yeah, I need to have a drink, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're addicted.
Addiction to me means that you have a need and a compulsion to continue to do things, whether they are good or bad for you.
I think addiction is a sign of weakness. It's like you don't have any control around you, so you form like a bond with something that can't react to you or respond to you like another human being can. It cripples you in ways that you have no control over. Addiction is linked with poverty, weakness, mental illness, abuse. Because of the fact that you want the drug so much, it leads you to do stuff that you wouldn't normally do.
You can be addicted to anything and everything. It doesn't really matter. You could be addicted to cars, addicted to girls, drugs, whatever it is. There ain't really nothing that you can't be addicted to.
People can get addicted to a variety of things, from music to alcohol, smoking, drugs.
It can start from the littlest things, and it can lead to the big stuff. Like when you're 5 years old, you could go into the shop and steal sweet, and then a few years down later, you're stealing something bigger, which gets you into trouble. You can be just addicted to cleaning and just obsession. It's the same thing. I couldn't imagine what that's like, especially for someone close to you, like a parent or a sister or brother, because not only are you seeing what the drug is doing to a person in general, you're seeing what it's doing to a loved one. And you know, their actions, what they choose to do to get the drugs, doesn't only affect them, it affects you. And especially like if there's like a mum or a dad that's into drugs and they get arrested, their child might get bullied at school because their dad's into drugs and stuff like that. So it's like a ripple. It doesn't only affect the person that's taking the drugs, it affects their surroundings and everything they do. Unless you're actually going through it yourself, you can't really sympathize with a person. You can say there's this out there, there's that out there, but unless there's someone on the same level that is actually going through it with you, you can't communicate with them as well.
I think if you live with somebody with an addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or gambling, it's very, very hard on family members and people that live with them, because they have the pressure of dealing with this person's compulsion and need to continue doing something that, for those particular areas that we've discussed, are very damaging to that person's health. The addict doesn't always understand, or even if they do understand, their addiction takes over. And I think the process to combat an addiction is so hard for the addict to go through that sometimes it's easier to stay addicted or then go through a couple of months of really hard pain to get over that addiction.
Always has an effect, like I know firsthand. It's like some people, like for me, like my dad used to do powder. I'll never ever in my life do drugs. I'll have my little smokes, but I'll never even try it for the fun of it. A lot of the time it can have a positive effect. A lot of people think, oh yeah, if your parents are doing drugs and you turn out a junkie, a lot of the time you see that what they're going through and don't want nothing to do with it.
It makes you go the opposite way. Yeah.
So it can have a positive result. If there's anything that's affecting you or any addiction, it don't mean it's going to hold you back. More so you listen to this, whether you're young people or you're into music, then you know the voice already. Look, you see where I'm at, and I've never been college, never been university. I'm living very good right now, so don't make addiction hold you back in it. You're your own person.